Just hit the X.
Yep.
Okay.
And it might pop up and say, do you want to end the live? Yes, you want to end the live.
Okay. And then, do we turn the phone off or anything?
Yeah, you can just turn it off, just like
And then one of us needs to get it back to you?
Yep, you can either bring it to me, you can drop it off in the little slot at Town Hall, like where you drop your water bills.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it will hurt. I'm sorry, I'll tip that. Let's see if I need to. Think we're okay there? We'll get you.
Sure.
All of you. Okay, so you're good to go.
Okay.
And as long as this, if you ever want to come up and check, like if you're worried, as long as this is red, that means you're live. And it's counting down, so you've been live for 46 seconds.
Okay.
So you're good to go.
Awesome.
See, it's not
Thank
that
you.
hard.
Well, I know, but
Once you
I'm
do it a couple times,
you
no, I get it.
So I need my instructions.
Once you do it a couple times,
And I don't want to mess anything up because I am not real tech savvy.
You won't. You won't. The worst you could do is like be filming this direction while you're all that way. But
Okay.
you're good to go.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you
Good
so
luck.
much.
You're welcome.
Enjoy Scarlett's
Softball.
softball practice. I miss those days, so enjoy them. Look at you. We see you online there, Keith. How did you get to that?
I typed town of Shelburn in YouTube.
Look at you at 76, and you're still always 10.
Yeah, let's see, it's already.
Okay, all right, looky there. Yeah, I printed it out.
And, Val from Hendricks sent out the legal description, and I thought that was going to be sufficient, but there are numerous questions they ask. So while I was talking to Jay this morning, we kind of thought it might just be a good idea if I take these down to the auditor's office and say, tell me what I need to do. Give me the information. So I will have the legal descriptions of the property with, on my phone, and just say, help me out.
And he's got to do it for I'm so glad you decided to take a hold of that. Thank you.
That's where I should have looked more thoroughly.
I don't know where you looked, it was fine.
She said, oh.
Well, I did the questionnaire stuff, so I will take care of the questionnaire thing, but we got help from Thrive on that. We got help from Chris Kruger on that. So she did a lot of it, I just reviewed it, Jay initiated that, whole transaction there, but, I knew I couldn't, so maybe when you go to the auditor's office, they'll be as kind.
And Val said it wasn't like next week or, but soon. So I'll try to get down there.
Can I ask, are you going to, because she did send, from what I saw on the, email, she did send the description of all 6 properties. So while you're doing that, are you going to go ahead and do all 6 properties? Awesome.
Because really, once it's a fillable form on the computer, might even put it on the laptop so I can get down there and do that. But once I get some of the information, it's just changing. I do want to put it, if I am able to be the signature person, which has
Vice
VP,
President.
I don't know what good. Boy, there's
It's lengthy, and it's very detailed.
lots of stuff.
And if not, you may have to get a hold of Stephen to go sign as president, or maybe they may have to
Well,
do 2 signatures. I don't know.
or, I spit it out, bring it back.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be how much information will they give to me, and, this is a form that they require, so I would hope they would say, okay, here's what you need, but you don't need that, you don't need that, or not that. Listen. So we
And
need
that's
to-
kind of was on this questionnaire when I first replied. I was like, oh my goodness, I don't understand a fourth of what they're asking, or where to even find that information. So, Chris Kruger took it and she said, this is usually how this goes, and I help lots of people, and she said, just make sure that you look over it, and Jay looks over it and see if that's good.
So do we know if Val got the check? File,
Is that Jay?
She was not going to come, she did. So, I told her to reach out to Liz. I told her, be a procedure, I told her to talk to her before I talked to her, that you gave her Liz, or who was it, consultant. Then I had to talk to her, I said, contact Liz, and then see if she's got the check, if not, have Liz give me her cell phone number. So I assume I'll call.
And Melissa was just here setting the phone up, so
I would get, if I was guessing, I'd say she probably.
Because they approved it at the last
Oh, yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
So they approved it to be paid, I just don't know if the check was written or not, so. But,
Because most of the.
well, I'm sure that was. I know she was in the office.
She,
And you're gonna do all 6 of those for those 6 properties. Thank you, Dawn, you're awesome. See, Keith, it's 5 minutes. Remember, there's more coming behind that, so he's gonna be a pro by the time he gets there all.
Yeah, city steps.
Yes, and it takes time. Yes. Did you want this copy too then?
No, I don't.
Did anyone want to see those questionnaires that had been filled out? Just these 2 that we're having to have the environmental phase 1 done on. We're trying to get the Indiana, I'm saying Indiana Finance Authority to offer a grant to have that paid for. Because the town did pay for the title and deed work to have these transfer. But if we can get the environmental phase 1 done with a grant.
Yeah, normally how that works is the money's in there, it's called Indiana Brownfields Program, and Indiana Finance Authority, of course, administers it. And they have a list, just kind of a rotating list of vendors that do this environmental assessment, phase 1. I know it's called on its own, like the next one's on rotation, say, hey, go to 16 North Washington Street, Shelburn, Indiana. And they go and get it, they set up, tell them to go, they go, and then they pay them. The Indiana Finance Authority directly pays the vendor, it doesn't come from the town. Yeah.
Yes, and I will check. Thanks, Lisa.
Oh, okay. They did one in 2019, I forgot all about it, but they're only good for 6 months. It's not very, it's not very.
Unless things change.
And these are just to get the environmental phase 1.
And so, the next is, building interest, 3 residential shelter properties, commercial property transfer.
Those are the 2, that, so it's in that original 6 packet, that packet of 6 that we put in for Amy's 2. And then the 2 on Glen and Walnut, there's a corner right there on Glen and Walnut, that's 2 open lots. I got it, you need a visual, I got one for you. Right here. So here's the 2 that we are having giving to Aggie, or offering to him, and this is the one we own. These are the 2 that you guys are doing, we did the questionnaire and these are. Now the 2 that the builders are interested in are the 3 actually. This is Walnut and this is Glen, and there's 2 lots right there that the town owns that's in this packet of 6 that we first presented to the town of Shelburn to transfer. We've already paid for the title work on those, as on the packet of 6, and Don's gonna fill out the application for tax exemption for those as well. Even though we haven't gotten anything moving on that, we might as well. It's nice to have this little packet of 6 that Jay originally said is shovel ready, and they are shovel ready. So if we as the RDC can get people, get builders, get businesses interested, then we're gonna have them ready to go. So these are.
Walnut Street, is that the first street you go, Walnut next to Thunderbird?
Next to you.
Oh, next to you.
Those areas.
Okay, that's where that old big house was, it's go down.
Yeah, it did great.
There is actually, so I took a couple of builders on the drive around town on this packet of 6. Show them some others that might be in the next packet of 6. But I took, and there is actually a house being built down here by another builder, which which sparked the interest of both builders that when I showed them this. So this builder might also be interested in that. But anyway, so there's a house being built. Bobby someone.
Oh, is it off out? Because it's a garage, is there a garage there and down the house behind it?
There's a house going up there, the builder's building it for the admin. I just know Bob, and I know the name Bobby, and I know that a couple of his workers.
Usually senior housing, so that's the issue.
So
Green
this,
one house right here.
yes, so this is a nice lot too, great for residential.
So that leads to Shelburn.
No, that's not Green Home. Green Home's over here. This is up here.
It says Buck Street, yes.
Okay, so there's the first set, there's Jay's house. over there.
And the lot behind Jay's as well,
Okay.
builders are strongly interested in the lot behind
On the corner there.
Jay's on the corner, and what is that?
That's a nice lot.
Yeah, it's Griffith and
Griffith and,
Walnut.
Walnut, and then these two. So, both builders that I took
I'm
around.
sorry, everybody. We'll have a test on that. I apologize.
Oh,
I think they might have found, well, they found some spots in my colon, I think might be cancer.
oh,
That's what they said, they did was get biopsy done, I found out all about it.
mhm.
I was hoping to know. I don't think the coroner asked too much.
So these are the minutes, and that's the agenda.
We are live streaming.
Yes, we are being live streamed.
No, you
So anyway, and the tours or the drive-arounds were June, probably in the middle of June. And, this RE Construction, is owner-operated builder. They're building in Farmersburg right now. I actually saw in the paper today where one of their homes sold.
that's what they're looking at, put there is how
Yeah, 3-bedroom, so according to Thrive, so I checked with Thrive, and, they give you, based on that data that, Brian had, the town paid for our portion of or whatever, so they gave me some data on what should be being built in Shelburn, what demographics should we look at, so, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,200 to 1,400 square feet. So, this RE Construction is currently doing the same thing in Farmersburg. So they had gone into, they don't have a redevelopment committee in Farmersburg, so.
They do, it's not,
Okay,
because I'm
are you on that
a
one too?
school, and
Okay. So he's been with some struggle with getting property there, and he was very excited to hear that we have an active RDC, because it makes transition, which also opens builders' ears. Anyway, so,
success in Shelburne, oh, let's keep going.
yeah, so he's reached back to me a couple of times, so he is very interested in these 2 lots plus the lot behind Jay's. Now, the other lot that's in that first packet of 6 is the one, and I'm terrible at directions, so let me, the one that's beside the memorial flag, and, well, see, you all point in different directions. No.
No.
Oh,
Yes, there's like there's 2 trailers, and then there's a long, thin lot. And both of the builders that I have were in the truck, as we went out, said that we really can't do anything with. 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 12 to 1,400 square feet. The way it's sitting, and that's just long and thin, and they said if you owned or were willing to, it's kind of a little bit of that discussion going on with that lot behind Jay's house. There's also a lot right beside it that Betty Septic owns. Yes, and
I would say
With the tree on top of it.
yes, and it's dilapidated. I don't think you guys living in it. Yes, and that both of them said, oh, it'd be nice if that was available as well. So the town doesn't own that, so a builder might try to, get that as well. But anyway, so,
These are speculation homes that they're doing, or do they have a buyer in mind, or?
they build them and then they sell them.
They're spec homes.
Yes, so they build them, they sell them, and that's exactly what they're doing at Farmersburg and in Shelburn. So the builders are going in, and they're building these homes, and then they put them on the market and using the comparatives in and around, so. But that's, and I'm planning on going, representing the RDC on the next board meeting, and the RE construction, builder, operator, owner of that business wanted to be on the agenda for the next meeting, to chat with the town board about his proposal. I said, there's really nothing, because he's coming from like, I can't say yea or nay, they're not ours, yet. So I can't have you come into the RDC meeting and doing anything as of yet, because they're still actually in the town.
But this is part of.
This package,
So it's in transition.
it's in the middle, because, yes, so I believe.
Well, I think as soon as she filed, she got the check, maybe she filed today, then.
This environmental phase ones have to be done on those.
Yeah, because of the transfer.
So,
So it's
Yeah.
something.
so, but we have strong interest in those. The other has not come back, and I haven't reached out to the other guy that's building down the road, but this one's very excited and interested, and he's, seems to be very knowledgeable.
This other one, he just made the move to buy the property and off the owner,
Yeah.
and it's just, so.
Mhm.
See, I think what you're gonna see is a chain reaction.
And that's what he was saying. He
It
said,
will.
get a few of these going. He said, how many do you, does the town have? And I said, well, it just depends on how you want to look at it. So we've got show ready, and then we've got some that needs quite a bit done
Needs a
too.
shovel.
Yes, and so I said, he said, you just won't believe, and as soon as, you've got this business coming in, and start to see things.
People jump on it when they say, well, everybody knows what
I was approached by another contractor. And he was asking questions that I told her to find out the best she can. Like if he is approved to build on his properties, is there like a 30, 60, 90-day timeline where he has to have X amount of the,
Well,
it's not done?
I think when it gets to the point when the redevelopment commission owns these properties, and that's when you need to get back with Lou and let Lou draw up a contract when you're gonna, pay purchase agreement, however he would know the wording, before you deal with any developers and there's the pricing, he shouldn't be just giving us properties.
Right.
But he's the expert where he can design just what you're saying. Most of it I've seen, it's usually at least a year that they have to start construction. If they don't, then the property reverts back to the redevelopment commission. You want clawbacks in that to be able to, you don't want just, because what can happen? We can have somebody go in there, get it half built, and then they own it, and there's no clawback, and then they go bankrupt. Now what are you gonna do? Now you're back right where you started from. You're gonna have to go through legalities again, maybe just to get it to where you can tear the thing down, start over again. So that's very, it sounds like this guy's legit, but,
Yes, let me see, I got some of that written down somewhere.
but still.
Let me see, 20-year builder, efficiency home, Indiana codes, I took notes while he was talking, so, he's a construction company on High Meadow, he's been doing it for 20 years. And, he was, he's gun, this guy has gun out, he's
been in the business for years, but he's already, but he's only been on his own for a little over a year.
Do you have his name?
It's, Robertson Brothers Construction, it's Mark Roberts.
Oh,
He has, they own the.
are they not Solomon?
Yeah, they own the shop there in Solomon, I mean,
Because
they're, it's not a fly-by-night deal, it's, but like you said, you need to vet these people.
You need to vet them, and then, like I said, you need to have a solid agreement that really can make for you, and if there's a mistake, and of course, there's no look out, we have to, commission not through it.
Well, and it sounds like the companies we're looking at or listening to or giving the information to, they've been through the process before. I know
That's what you
RV
want, and that's what you want to see, because if you have one that all.
So these were brought up, hey, if I don't have, if I don't have the thing completed in X amount of days,
Yes.
then I said, well, I don't know, I said, there'll be some situation at least where you have to have X amount of completion done over a certain time period, or can revert back. And it's not, I'm not sure, I said, but I don't know the guidelines on it. I said, I'm sure there are, which I didn't know what we had in place, but I figured like, you said, that's something we need to have in place.
Need to have in place.
And we go through
Time comes.
Lou Britton for that, right?
I would,
Yeah.
I mean, I know he wants.
But again, I wasn't trying to overstep, it's not just, it was something I thought should be in place.
Oh, I think.
And so I just led on like we had it in place already, and
It would be interesting to see a year from now, what my whole idea when I was board treasurer, buying up these properties and cleaning them up and wheeling and dealing like we're doing, moving things, is to have properties ready, and then, finally I was told, once stuff started getting built on, then the town could kind of back up and not have to be in the real estate business anymore, because I think once you get 3 or 4 of them built, just like you're saying, you'll have developers and stuff. And they're going to go in and buy these old dilapidated houses and tear them down, and then work with the RDC or whoever.
especially if they can get it done, they sell it quick.
Well, and that's the thing.
They're really gonna, I think we're gonna see.
The process is long anyway.
Yes.
I mean, we started this, what, 3 months ago, 4 months ago, for just these 6, it's long anyway.
So
So,
if they come in and deal directly with the property, on buy the property,
yeah, they're gonna buy.
You don't have to be in real estate business.
But what's bad about that though, is we still have 90-some properties that are.
And that's going to take a little
You know.
years.
and you don't have any control over it if they're on their own, whereas we can set some stipulations.
You can say it has to be
This
this.
kind of house and.
Well, that's where the Thrive data
That's-
comes into play.
That's where you get into the problem of not having zoning. Yeah, we have zoning, we wouldn't have to worry, but we don't have zoning, and the only thing I'm worried is just what you say, and that, I think that will happen unless the redevelopment commission can get some more money, so you wanna sell these and make money, you don't wanna give these properties away. Maybe AB a little bit, because this is a little bit different, but for builders, you need to sell this property, so you turn around and roll this money over. And I would encourage the redevelopment commission, whether it's this one or one in the future, to start looking at buying these properties. And then actually having control of it, because that's the only way to keep the developer out of it. And I said, get out of the real estate business, so that's gotta need to back up, because what you're saying, the more property the redevelopment commission owns, the more they can control. It's all about control, it's all about you want what you want on that ground and not let somebody else put something on there that's detrimental, that's gonna hurt the values.
Since we don't have zoning, this is the next best thing.
This is the next best thing.
Have some control.
It's the next best thing.
I love to hear, that it's residential property, and be a residential home,
Yeah.
3 bathroom, or 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom, and a house in it.
Yeah.
12 to 1,400, and then I've gone and looked at the houses that have already been constructed, and I'm like, that would be awesome.
Where are they located?
On their Main Street, on
Main Street,
all
across the
down
tracks,
on
east.
the left.
West side. Yeah. East
Now,
side.
I can get a list of, because I only looked at a couple. I know there's one back in Turner subdivision that they flipped more or less.
I see.
And I walked through that one as well, so there were 3 that he Do you? Well, there you go. You've been to Waco, Texas, and to the side of
No, I don't go there anymore too much because my uncle got shot.
But it's
just
that
bad
kind of
memories.
vibe. It's kind of that, the gunmetal siding, roofing, some of them are leaning more toward that barn
Yeah.
kind of look, so, but the ones I would look at were more that white, black. Kind of what I call it, look vibe.
Yeah, I watched that development grow, you know, because the apartments on this side are on the corner, and I watched that, and they put them all.
Because there's nothing there, there's nothing there but a field, yeah, it looks out of place, doesn't it? And I think there's even,
Yeah, that's where that says
I think there's even like an Airbnb tiny house in there somewhere in there.
Right.
I'm like, that looks out of place, they do very well.
See, that's the other thing. The more the development commission can control, the more you can keep things like that.
Yeah.
And you start building houses, and then all of a sudden, you lose control, and somebody wants to slap a manufactured house in there. Nothing against manufactured houses, but the key is to have stick-built homes that's got value, that will increase in value and not decrease in value. Because a mobile home will decrease in value, a modular will decrease in value. Then you will be right back to where you were. I'm not saying, it's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Well, I feel like we're moving forward. The thing to keep in mind, and we got that email this morning from the group, we are a one-term group. So, we're a one-term, so whatever we can get accomplished, we can only hope that the next group, whoever they may be, will capitalize. So I'm still in the mode myself. I want to try to get as much done as I can by December the 30th. Because you don't know, and it's July 1st. So,
Now, okay, so, yes, one term, does that mean you can't be reappointed?
You can be reappointed as many times as the council.
So,
Again,
whoever the town is.
yes, the town council, of course, whoever amongst the four of us decides who wants to be council president, amongst three of them. Council members. The
And
other
then,
two.
of course, there's always errors with that, depending on how we've done.
Oh, sure.
Figure out
I would,
or if we've ruffled feathers.
some of the 17 seem to do that.
Yeah. And not intentionally.
Any new business?
Well, I think,
We're on old business now, right?
Whatever.
it has actually falls in line with the other business. We cannot tear down buildings. When it was sold to the town, there was a clause in the original contract from the original, whatever it was, that it could not be destroyed.
So you have a copy of the document.
This is not one that I'm not.
see if it is, it reverts back to the probably.
Now, on that same line, I have a person that has spoken to a contractor. He will come in, the contractor will come in and do what the building needs as far as the electrical and installation and that as a donation. It's my wife, Rhonda. She wants to do in our Father's Arms clothing store in the general store. What she plans on doing is because of space constraint, put like a rack of men's clothes, a rack of women's clothes, and use the Shelburn stuff that's in there, put, t-shirts, things like that. and then rotate her stock out, like every couple of weeks, whatever, there for 2 weeks, goes to Goodwill, she replenishes that stock. She takes donations on set days while she's there. So that, and you know as well as I do, Don, that don't work 100%, but we are a block away, so it can be, we can be, but she actually, she's filed her 501, that's in process. She is willing to see if that was even something that you would consider before she goes through, to make her sound bad, Don knows her, before she goes through the trouble of writing out the entire prospectus and all that. But I honestly think it would be good for the town, you know, and with her, Don's had experience with her running our college line. She will do a good job at it. And I know I don't have to abstain from any kind of votes you can take with that.
And being
But-
right here beside where they do, don't they do the, cheerleading?
Yeah.
Right there.
It's right here,
Yes.
one of the days, she'll be open like 3 days a week. And one of the days will be the day that Jerry's is here, so they can.
And you mentioned contractor by donation.
Yes.
So who's the contractor?
Robertson Marshall.
Okay, so they're willing
They
to.
go to our church and they want to see, they know this is a good thing.
So they're
They're
willing
willing to
to.
have you need the electrical, because they'll model to you in there. You need the electrical, and you'll, this way, replace the siding for lack of better term on the back, where the holes are at.
Supplies and work.
Yes. Well, you know,
There
he
you
said,
go.
now, that is contingent on if Ron goes in there. He's not the school to do it.
Right. So it's for
That was
our
part of
father.
her proposal. It's not gonna be our private drawings.
But a lot, a similar.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a free clothing store.
Okay.
It's not gonna take any away from it.
So obviously, we are concerned on what we can do with that. Let's do something.
Good.
Yeah.
The document, I'm curious about
I
the documentation that we
will get that
can
copy from her and I will get email it
do.
out.
Because is that true of the saloon as well? So what about the grant?
The grant is process.
So we did get approved
We've got approved
for a fine.
We've got invited to go. August 15th.
I have a feeling this said, and if we don't, you know what's going to happen? Because we're going to rest. So let's code the language.
But, you know, it's, we have things we can do. Yeah.
I'm not doing for
No, that's all.
I think it's great. Absolutely. It's just.
It's the principle.
But if you can make good out of that, that's great. Well, I would think, but it just burns me. It defeats what the redevelopment commission is for. It's to redevelop property and put it, hopefully, is back on tax rolls and not.
Not trying to shut you down.
No, go ahead.
But it says it, pay the general store. Tree work bids, I dropped the ball on that because I've been sick with, things and Ron has been sick with things. I got the information, was that she's gonna post that a lot of bids for the tree removal. It's gonna be posted and made public and all that. She's gonna do that. The saloon. We have had a couple people show interest after-school activities center for children. And it can be done, the only thing we would really need to do for that is make a cover for the saloon sign. In other words, it can be put up to cover the saloon, and you take it down for, old fashioned or whatever. It's because of the children, and there's always going to be somebody.
It's amazing to me because do you know what was in there when that was built? What that was for? There were children in there.
Okay, well,
They
and
were
then,
candy.
but
No, they weren't. I mean, they were great school.
it's a different time now. I mean, and you know as well as I do, somebody will say something about the saloon sign. And that can get, but we
So
can
when we
do,
say that sign can even come down,
it could come down, but I mean, it could also just, you could make a cover to put over it.
Does it say that in the document that it
No,
has to
no,
stay
no,
as
no.
general store and
No,
saloon?
no.
Just the
Just,
structure.
the structure should not
says
be,
that-
they just charge. But this after-school thing that people approach us, because like the beta clubs and all that around, they have to have so many hours to do service. So you get the high school beta club members to come in, do tutoring if it's needed, do activities and things with the children. And it's not a daycare, it's not gonna be a daycare. But, the children can come in there, they can get a snack after school, they can get, they can get some tutoring done, they can have activities, and do arts and crafts. There's enough people that have spoken to me and Rhonda about, volunteering their time to do, because this was her idea, again, I'm not taking credit for this, but she's had people approach her, I don't know if there's anything like that here. And she said, well, we can see if we can't do that. But during the school year, it would be like 3 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. When school is not in session over the summer, we do like 11 to 4 or 10 to 4 or something like that, just where the kids have somewhere they can go and they're not out here.
So as far as the grant,
The grant is going to be, I'm going to write up the thing, and I just need to know, the way I understand it, John probably knows about this now. The way I understand it, if we have proposals like the free store, the activity center, I can use those. And if that changes, it can be, the grant application can be amended, but it has to be used for the betterment of the structures. And
we don't have to be specific on
No.
what the betterment
we
is.
just have to note, that there is
something.
interest for something coming in there that's going to be used for the betterment
So
of
we have to prove that interest,
the way I understand it, no.
so we don't have to have any kind of
We
written.
don't have to have anything written, or these people agree to come in, but if this works out, then the grant money that we get can all go into the saloon, because the children's school will be taken care of. What I've got so far on the saloon is I know it needs the roof, because we know it's leaking. I've got notes, I've been out and I don't have it written.
I think when we took her tour, I looked at some
I
things
have a
for you
roof,
too.
like a mini split system, because I think that would be plenty for that.
Insulation.
Insulation, I think all the wires are great.
Is there need to be, is there a bathroom in there?
There's no bathroom in there. But that could be a fairly simple modification. Because you don't have to have a shower. All it has to be is just toilet with sink. And the blacksmith shop is an add-on. Okay.
Is that little building?
That can
back?
probably be removed and remodeled. That existing structure can just be removed as part of the remodel. Put a bathroom on up there in that corner.
And that document says
Is
it's
there,
okay
is
with
there
that, that's
plumbing?
removed.
Right now, there's not any,
There's no,
I don't know about septic and stuff like that, but right now, there's no plumbing in that building.
yeah, what I'm saying though is there access there.
Yeah, in the ground.
There's access to it,
Okay.
yes. But, and I'm thinking just throw a half bath in there, and as far as like, if you do the activity center for kids, the snacks can consist of, it doesn't have to be anything that has to be refrigerated.
Chips, crackers.
Chips, crackers, juice, water, things that
When
don't
does
have
the
to be.
application have to be submitted by? August 15th. And we.
I'm in the process, I just haven't got it done.
Is it lengthy or is it,
It doesn't have to be lengthy, it's not gonna be lengthy.
oh, so it's not a fill in the blank
No.
kind of thing?
No, I
It's
have,
just a write-up?
yes, I have to write a proposal.
Okay. So Commissioner Storm writes a proposal.
But normally I'm not just fighting either, I just have a lot going on.
So, in your proposal, you're going to identify
I'm
the
gonna
free
identify
store.
the free store and the activity center, and that's what I'm gonna identify right now. But also there's,
Do we need to vote on that? Do we
that's up to
need
you guys, I mean, I'm not saying it has to go happen, it's just, it can be amended later,
Yes.
if that's
I
not.
didn't
what I'm
know if
deciding.
there was anything we needed to
Maybe
do.
get started.
Yes, so do we need to vote to make this all? I don't know.
I move that we move forward with the general store becoming a clothing outlet, whatever that looks like. And the saloon is transitioned into a youth activity center.
We have, again, I'm gonna just make a motion to shut, but, like Tyra Pearl has been in school in Sullivan, she's talking about coming over and doing a class for a couple weeks long, and letting the kids do a recital on the stage, that you could actually charge, $5 a head, whatever, to come to the recital.
That's what it was originally for.
And, so we've got things like that, and the Sullivan County players, they still ready to come in and do.
I second the motion.
Okay?
That'd be nice.
All in favor? Aye.
I understand. I have to abstain because it's not this one.
It sparks a, back in the day with Alabama, she had, man, that was the biggest, they were always in the parade, oh my God.
Wouldn't that be neat to kind of dedicate some of that
Yeah.
to Alexander? Since it was originally for dancing, you guys said, it's for
It was
dancing.
set up to be like a group
Maybe
fashion
the
store.
cover sign should have something in memory
The
of,
candy cane
because
girls.
everybody knows Alexander.
This, like I said, I got.
It's a lesson from our.
Where
are you?
Two or 3 week class, and then do a recital.
Yes.
And you're just gonna put Alexander on here just because.
Yeah.
What's her last name?
Good.
Good.
His name was Alexander. Because I was like 10.
I know you guys don't really know my wife, but you can.
Yeah, she would do a great job.
Alright, so I've got down our commissioner Storms is gonna work on submitting the application by
I will,
August
once I get it
15th.
finalized, I'll send all of you a copy, so you can look at it and edit it if you want to edit it and.
Well, and if there's any information you need from us, you know what I mean? And then, and the tree work thing, we've got to.
It's in process, she's pushing that.
What about the clean out of the buildings? Is there anything we need to do?
Now, Ron and I went in there and there's not now the general store there's probably 150, like softball tournament trophies in there from different years. And, I reached out to the youth league to see if they had a place to display, and they said they didn't, but they thought maybe they could, Melissa said something about some of them could be displayed at town hall, and possibly some of them be here somewhere.
There
You know,
is.
because it's history of the town, it doesn't need to be all displayed
So, it used to be, I believe, the, police room where Matt or whoever they had a space, they had an office. So, talked to Liz and talked to Melissa, she said that all of that stuff, that we could store it all in there.
That's what I was gonna say, I've got permission to put stuff over there. The youth league wants to come look at the trophies, so that, because someday, a few of them they can take,
Concession
like one of them,
stand.
one or two of them is like, state tournaments, something like second or third place in the state for like 11U or whatever, I mean, there's stuff like, and
Do
there's
they
probably
still
not,
have stuff at the school, like displays,
just
things
different.
around North
And then
Central?
there's, in the saloon, there's a bunch of pictures of the
Limited
classes,
space.
school
Is
classes.
there
and
anything in there that they still display?
Limited space.
There's not, anyway, back to my original point, there's not really a whole lot in there that needs cleaned out. I mean, it needs swept and spider web and things like that.
There
But,
just seemed to be a lot of stuff
There's not-
laying around.
but there is, and there is a lot of stuff that is in there, like a bunch of the pictures and stuff like that just need to be cleaned up and either taken over to town hall and stored or brought over here and hung on the wall, and things like that.
Is there anything we need to do here to just, so that future
What kind of-
RDCs know where this stuff is ended up?
Well, we will be, once we actually get it moved, we document where it's all at. But part of the reason that it's not being cleaned out was there's a lot of stuff over there, like a lot of those cardboard barrels and stuff that are in there, just need to start. And the townwide cleanup is supposed to be sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Can we do that? Is that document?
Oh, yeah,
So the content, so sometimes when we do that, part of the
Like I
document.
said, we'll read through it, look at it, maybe, get legal assistance.
Sounds like it's.
As long as we don't tear the buildings down,
Yeah.
and we use them for the good of the town, we're good. We just can't destroy them. So, but part of the reason it's not being cleaned out is because a lot of stuff, like those big barrels, those cardboard barrels, just need to be discarded. We're doing townwide cleanup here in a couple of weeks, so that's the time to discard those. There's no sense in dragging them out, putting them out somewhere where they're gonna get wet or you're gonna have to deal with wet cardboard. It's like everything else, it's a process.
And let me know, because, I'll bring my truck and trailer up here, we can throw it on there the day of the thing, and we'll get that out and hold off.
But there's not really, honestly, there's not really a whole lot that needs done over there other than it needs some insulation and it needs a lot of cleaning as far as, beach spider web and stuff like that. And
Well, that's all stuff you.
yeah, it's simple stuff. It's just, and another thing, honestly, I'll be 100% honest, when it was 110-degree heat index, I wasn't going in.
That's a heat stroke waiting to happen, right?
I just,
Pull the ambulance up over
I love my community, but I just love it. Not at 110 heat.
No problem there.
Has anybody heard that they sold the pizza place and this young couple that bought it with the intent of making a pizza place out of it? Has anyone even heard of anything like that?
Everybody that we have asked, nobody seems to know anything about it.
Or the people who bought it. There's a
Right.
On a point of information regarding this form, what is our address? Is it the town hall? So I have to look, and that's not the name of owner claiming exemption, Shelburn Redevelopment Commission. What's your address?
Well, I can tell you it is because, when I went to do look at all the lots and stuff, the tax papers say, Shelburn Redevelopment, and it has that address. So, yeah, you just need to identify that it's Shelburn Redevelopment Commission, but it's the same address.
Is that the same address that's on the logo? just,
Clear.
that this isn't.
Yeah, we've got some.
Any old business?
Does that come in this timeline on when you start functioning that?
Well, he can't start, he can't do anything except for what our lot, the RBC, because we all go with that, he can only work on that front lot. Because it's the only one that we have, because we're still in the process with the other two.
So even though the transfers been filed, environmental work, some of these documents, is there kind of a time frame?
It's the first of all, this.
And I think he's gonna, has he contacted you at all?
He emailed me.
Because he called me and I was like, I can only tell you what, because we're the only ones, we only own that front lot right now. So I can tell you that you can go, we voted, you were there, we did cinnamon and all that. That front lot is yours to begin. So if you want to start cleaning up the tree and whatever you want to do, you can do whatever there. But the other two are not clear.
See, I thought that he said there that we did all this, that he was gonna come in there and start on that lot. He doesn't like he gets started there. So,
I think that front corner lot, the way it's situated, I think he's gonna try to have that 100 by 60 building for that back lot. And so that front lot, to me, just looking at it, is gonna be more of the drive or the, so there's really not,
but basically, I guess it's the holding pattern, that's what the environmental study is done, I guess.
right, yes.
All right.
On the builders, do we need to make a motion to move forward on, those 3 lots that are in that package 6 for builders
But again,
to make proposals on?
if they could start,
They can start, they can make the proposal.
You know,
You know.
so are we okay with them going to the town board meetings and making proposals for what they would like to do or see? And then we can invite them here, but it really doesn't, it's not up to us now. Yet.
Yeah, right. But at the same time.
We don't wanna slow them
But
down.
at the same time, it's not even on the list, that the transfers are in the process, it's not really, right now, it's kind of, it's just a limbo.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can't really approve anything right now. Right. Because it's in transfer, we can't approve it right now because it's in transfer. So right now, it's kind of like lamed up then. We really, neither one of us really control it right now.
So,
Am I-
should
am I
we be
correct?
doing,
You're absolutely correct.
so, should we be doing proposals then or not? I was just trying to save
I
time.
think I would tell them, just be honest with them.
Yeah.
Just be honest with them, communication is the key. Just tell them that right now it's in process of being transferred, so right now the town really doesn't have control, and either we, it's kind of in that limbo state, so we just need to.
Do we want to?
We are planning on moving forward with it, but at this moment, at this juncture, we cannot move forward. And just be honest with them, explain to them why, that it's in process of being transferred.
Yeah.
Are we
a
interested?
developer proposal.
Yes, yes.
Are we interested in hearing what they have to say?
I think we're
Right.
interested in what they say.
That's more what the
Yeah,
same
definitely.
kind of coming from.
Yeah, we're definitely interested, but they need to understand that at this juncture, there cannot be a decision made.
Yeah, and they know that. I haven't done that.
I think two of the reasons you have to do is what maybe thinks when you say proposal. Again, total control. You would want to develop a proposal that fits what you want, not what the developer says they want.
Right, we need to have our, we need to have our. we need to have
Well,
our
and that's
bylaws.
why you guys get from you, go to Friday, and get that information of what the
But you don't
demographic.
want to have that.
Yeah, we wanna have that,
There you go.
so,
From, I wanna have it in right from Blue, that's what we're wanting to go here, or
that's what you guys wanna do, yeah, absolutely, but
Well,
you
that's
want
what
that in,
thrives.
you want that in writing, you want that in writing, what you want
No,
done.
no, just.
We want to match with what thrives.
Okay, so this slide giving you some guidelines for us?
Yes, the data, that $2,000 that we sent, or the county sent, to pay for that big survey that was done last year. Last year for Sullivan County, they come up with a demographic of what,
So it was 1.5.
yes, what
That's what I think we need to do is.
draw, what would be the draw?
Proposal, our proposal is, this is what we're looking to get, build a proposal off of that. So it gives them a heads up as to what we're actually looking for.
Well, and that's what I told them, that's what we're looking for, because that's what I told them we were looking for. And that's,
Single family.
homes. It's used, it's running like 160 to 225. That's what it's doing.
Have no problem financing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
That's what they're, because
Especially.
any builder's gonna do their comparatives,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And so their spec homes are gonna be to the comparatives to what's already here. Like right behind me, actually, it's, this is, oh gosh, just sold for 163. So, in a
Yes.
day.
In a day.
In a day. So, and it's an older home. Right, or mine. Or any of ours, you know what I mean? No, no. But it's a big, pretty well, 2-car, office in, fenced in.
So do we need to at least set this parameter officially that, so I would move that any of these residential lots would have, at a minimum, 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, between 1,200 and 1,400 square feet, and be single-family homes. And this is a minimum.
I would say it probably would be in the garage.
And a garage.
And ground swimming pool?
No, the garage is a big selling point.
Making that motion, are you?
Okay, so is there anything else?
Now, I do have a question.
Yes.
Are we totally opposed to, multi-units like duplexes, triplexes?
I would say yes.
Good, that's where I was at. Because that's, you get yourself in trouble there. With lots. Okay, good, that sounds good.
Single family, stick to homes.
Yep.
Yeah, stick to what's the appropriate term, constructive, or, everybody knows stick to it. Chat GPT.
What's the politically correct term for stick built homes?
AI, another word for stick built.
I just
I
did
think
stick
that's
built
actually, I think that's the
construction.
accepted term, I think.
I think so.
And this is something we want drawn up by Lou Britton.
You might just reach out.
Might just
for you, yeah.
But these would be our basic parameters.
Yes.
You just need to say, hey, we're moving on this, we'd like to have it.
Can we just say step one?
That's what I had for a conversation, you know, is to get a document together, try to stay ahead of it. You know,
Honestly, I don't think we would want to put spec Well, the spec is speculation.
Single family.
It's basically the design that you want to see,
Yeah,
how
so
they
it's
build
not
it.
speculation, that's what we're looking
Oh, no, speculation, they're building it, speculating to sell it.
That's what it's spec on.
Yes.
at.
Speculation.
I don't think we need to put spec on in the guidelines because, you know, somebody might come to the builder and say, hey, I need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home.
You're just setting the guidelines of what you want to see built.
Right.
How they build it, that's up to them.
Because you don't want them to think, you know, to have somebody, a buyer in mind, not be able to build a house on our property because we said that in a second.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
To me, that's a
So,
good point.
Stephen, do you wanna reach out to Lou Britton and maybe have that document?
Okay, so I'll make that motion. These are our basic guidelines for these residential lots.
And I second that.
All in favor? You'll reach out in an email and just asking to draw, or if he can draw something for that, then. And then anyone that we talk to, or you would talk to, like Roberts and Daughters, then we'll make them aware of that. I think I'd go into, if it's okay with everyone, go ahead and let the RE construction guy come to the town board and kind of just give them the information.
Yeah.
The more we know,
Right.
the more honed in we
Just
can
as long
get
as
on
he's,
what we.
just as long as they're aware that, you know, they
Yes.
can't be a decision made at that point.
Yeah, and they are, they're aware of
This
that.
is what I was kind of, this comes back again. You may have to ask Lou. You may have to get, like we do with bidders and things, you may have to put this, how you want this, and then invite proposals, not just
Right,
have some.
okay.
Right, you're gonna have to have this to where people can, visitor contractors can basically
Well, I didn't know
submit
that.
proposals.
So it's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay.
they'll have to submit proposals based on the criteria that we, that you guys want. Kind of like specifications.
Would you have to do that if you're selling the property?
Good question for you.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, if we were saying, you know, here's this property, come build on it, then yeah, you probably would, but I think if you're selling, I would think if you're selling the property, you wouldn't have to.
Well, you might not have to, but
It might be a
what
small,
we got going right.
yeah,
To me, the whole idea.
because if you do it that way, then you get more foot traffic. You know, and,
The only
that's
thing
a good question.
scary to me, if we had zoning, I would be so cautious. But we have no zoning, you're not gonna see zoning in this county, I should say probably never. In fact, got brought up in a council meeting, as wild and woolly as some of them are, that really So this is the best, the safest way to be able to not step on neighbors' toes by having stipulations in property you guys own and invite proposals. This is what we expect, this is what we
So
accept.
this is like the legal agreement for these two properties over here.
Yep.
They put that in to safeguard history.
Yes, exactly.
If you want to call that history.
Well, but that's probably the excuse they use.
So we then would do the same thing. We
Right.
will sell you that lot
Mhm.
with this stipulation.
This is what you built on.
You
And we're having Lou draw something up to do that.
Yes.
Now, when we sell these to whoever, how do you go about determining the value and what you would sell it for? Cause like with anything, he was talking about that there was, he worked on some board or whatever, where they did that to welcome in,
And that's a.
Of course, he's
different.
well,
To
the
me,
builder said that too, he said, you know, I go around and I buy lots, to bring homes through Thrive, and he worked with Thrive, and he said, you know, if I'm gonna have to pay, but bunch of money for them, then I'm.
But willing to
Yeah.
pay, but not,
Well, I mean,
Right.
even if you get I'm not saying just this, if you get the title transfer fees paid, and
Yeah, which would be in the code or something.
Right, and that's something that was brought up by the other guy, said, you know, if we wouldn't mind paying for that portion to be done, you know, help the town or see or whoever to pay that part of it, but when you start to say, you know, 10 grand for this property, or
that's what I'm
8
saying,
grand for
even
this
if you just,
property,
even if you just.
then they're gonna back out.
Even if you,
They're gonna back out.
just, you know, tell them you'll sell the lot for, depending, you know, I'm just throwing money out there, stop, but, no, hey, I'll sell you this lot for 2,500 plus fees. You pay the title transfer fees, and then, you know, $2,500 is yours. You
I'm
know,
just thinking, but.
well, I'm just, that's what I'm saying, I'm just doing
Very economical
Very-
price that helps them in the long run and encourage it. Oh, they're charging $50,000 for this lot.
Especially when you're doing everybody's, especially when you're first starting out, it's selling in the ground, like I always love that term, shovel ready. They don't have to do anything, but just basically put their foot on that and go.
And most of the lots are already improved lots.
Yeah,
So
there was something there before.
Yeah, for the meters there and seconds, they're already gonna do something to it.
One of these lots.
you don't wanna price, you don't
You don't
wanna
wanna
price
outprice
yourself.
yourself.
No, but you don't wanna give it away either.
No.
You can get it,
Those 2 lots beside my house that they're now there,
Yeah.
building Airbnbs, I paid 3 grand a piece for.
so you get a couple, $3,000 plus the fees out of it.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
It's skin in the game, but it's not, you're not breaking.
Yeah.
Now, there are a few lots, since we were talking about that, there are a few lots that are, and it's not in this group of 6, but there are a few lots that I've been around and looked at that are what's called landlocked,
Yes.
and we're not gonna be able to do anything with them,
The only thing you can do there would be
to sell them to
Sell it to
people.
whoever.
Yes.
whoever's abutted up against them.
Yes, and so I thought about identifying those maybe as the next ones.
Then again,
And then you
you
have the town or us
Do that.
offer that to the,
do that in the next.
and then you can make some money
You know, I
to
mean,
pay
just
for this.
to
Get it.
get them out, and maybe something else, just gonna raise their attention to these things, or still around every time.
And there's about 4 of them
And I know the property owner,
that I don't know that.
I would love to, the house owns that lot right next to me. It's, Shelburn has such a weird setup on some of the properties, like there's no alley behind me. I am right to the back door. They walk out the back road, they're out on my property. And I told him, I said, well, trade me that lot for access, because me, I'm not gonna, the next person buys it, they might put a price fence up.
Yeah, right up at your back door.
And so that's what I'm saying, it increases your property value if there's a landlocked spot there.
Yeah, the
I
thing
would pay a
is,
lot of property owner, thinking, yeah.
you can't outprice them though, you know what I mean?
That's like my property over here. Half of that one garage of mine, or not half, but like 10 foot of that one garage of mine, Susie swears she's on her property.
Yeah. And see, when Kim bought that 10,000, I thought that whole thing was one lot.
So, I mean, I don't know, the garage has been there for 50 years, the house was built in 55, you know, so, I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna run into if she ever gets mad.
Just go like.
So should we start to identify the landlocked property to gain some funds?
That's a good idea.
Now, they will still be in ownership of the town, so are you guys going to, yeah, because you're the ones that are having to pay for the title work and all that on the transfer, so it would be smarter for them to.
My proposal,
This should have made me transfer twice.
Right.
Transfer to us and we transfer to somebody.
so the thing on those landlocked properties, probably the best thing to do with those, again, it's just my opinion. The best thing to do with those is one of the people that butt up against them, just offer them the property for the fees. I mean, because what else do we do with it?
It'd be easier to, again, it's hard. It's easier for the RDC to sell the properties than it is the town.
Is it? That's what I was trying to get to. What's gonna be the most efficient, 'cause, you know.
Most efficient is RDC, because then you can put what you want. And the town can't put what they want, we just have to sell it and anybody can buy it. And you can't, but when, just like with this, if we sold these lots that we own, let's say like the bar, the town sells it. The town can't say, all right, we want this on it, we want this on it, we want this on it. They just have to put it out for sale for anybody who wants to bid and buy it. Or the RDC can put parameters and say, you're gonna build a house on here, this is how big is it, just like what you're
But
doing.
if it's a landlocked property, they're not going to, you're selling it to
That'd be,
people that.
that'd be the thing too. I just know from the practice.
Just find out,
It's hard for the towns.
With being in my hands, how did it become landlocked if it was in town? And they had it, an easement or something, that's what access.
True.
I drove in circles trying to find some person. Where is this?
I mean, there has to be an easement, some kind of access in there somewhere. What doesn't happen, you would think.
But you think this will be.
Just on a motion, shake your hand, and we adjourn.
Second.
Soon they'll build a lot on Mill Street. See how it's coming down?
They're working on there now.
Are they on Mill Street?
They're digging out and pulling out.
Okay. Motion was made. Second. All in favor?
Seems like, okay, let's